mouth of the blue paint. 14:47 left in the third. Face-off won by Cedar Rapids. Shot from the left point. Redirected along the way. Rebound fed in front. Would not go for the Riders. And Sealinger able to clear to center. Knocked ahead by Theo Kiss. Hustling after it. Caught up to it at the goal line of the CRN. Kiss still with it. Right circle. Fed Schmiel at the point. Pumped it wide of the cage. Redirected right there at the side of the net. Unable to get it to go was Owen Tylick. Ryan Cameron kept it out. 14:28 left in this third period. Searles to take the draw against Grant Young. And Searles will win that faceoff. Plays at center point for Ori. Left point for Randall. D-to-D Ori. One-timer from center point. Hit the heel of his stick and ricochet to the right corner. Played around by Deladonna. Back to Ori. Shot pad saved by Cameron. Rebounded Deladonna. Sharp angle shot. Missed the cage. Came off the right corner and kept it the right point by Ori. Fed it back down. It'll go behind the net where it is grabbed by Fenton. And played out to center. Randall chips it back in. Carson Young, first one to it, up the wall to Ogren, then ahead to Young. Grant Young to the right wing corner. Taken away by Ori. And sent to Zupfer. Out to center. Coming into the zone is Rooney. Chips it down low while the defense changes behind them. Side of the net. Picked up by Ogren. And slid over to Romeo to skate to center. Fed to the red line for Grant Young, who chipped it into the Des Moines end, and he'll go off for a line change. Whelan plays it over to Wenkes, then Davenport. Pass was in his skates, but he's able to get it out to center. Sent back ahead by Miller. Grabbed by Westerling and chipped behind the cage. Came around to the right corner where Wenkes sent it up the wall. Came to Miller, whose shot was redirected by Westerling. Dropped it behind him looking for Cedar. It wouldn't go. Up at the right point, kept by Mentz. To Westerling, to Cedar in the right corner. Tried to feed Westerling, pass was behind him. It came to Wallen, who gets it to center for Zupfer. Faked right, went left, brought it into the zone, tried to draw a tripping call, wouldn't go. Wenkes, left corner. Waits for help, turns and centers, hit a body in front, it poked in by Wallen, they score! Reese Wallen with one hand on his stick. Able to poke it in behind his back from what I saw. And Des Moines ties the game. And good luck moving that 6'3" frame at the edge of the blue paint. Reese Wallen, first of the season, time of the goal. 7:14, we are knotted up at 2. Face-off won by Ernst. Huff up to the line for Bosco, out to center for Ernst. Across over to Rohrer. His shot blocked by Kroll. Rebound to the line kept by Fenton. Rising wrister out of play. 12:30 left in the third. Face-off will be to the right of Whelan. Zielinski to take the draw against Ernst, who won it. To Bosco, toe drag, shot off the tip of the glove of Whelan and went wide. Rebound into the corner. Rohrer battling for it down there, but it came up the wall, taken away by Zidlicki. Off of Huff and out to center. And wait for his teammates to touch up, turn and fire it back in, but it comes to Davenport for the Buccaneers. We're tied at 2. Into the corner for Kroll. Up the wall to Zidlicki. Fed to Zielinski. Danced around one. Got hooked down. And that will be a penalty. And Blake Zielinski made a couple of Rough Riders look silly there and drew the penalty. Heading to the box, Carter Ernst for the hook. Third power play, I think, for Des Moines. Faceoff will be to the right of Cameron. And yes, the third power play for the Buccaneers. Tylick to take the draw. Faceoff, however, won by Cedar Rapids. Tylick hustling over to the wall, trying to keep it alive for the Bucks. Could not do so, as getting the clear was Grant Young. Randall back into his own end for it. And chipped it over to Tylick. Into the zone. Down the left wall, taken away by Romeo, and he'll spin it down the ice for the Riders. Wheelant, side of the cage. A little stick handling there for the goalie. So he gave it up to Randall to carry ahead. Drop pass back to Tylick. And then drop for Zielinski. Into the zone, gave it to Seelinger. Fired around the kick plate to the right side for Tylick. Sent up that far wall. Stick goes flying. That belonged to a Rider. Westling recovers. Stepping in is Randall. Shot, pad save. Cameron. Rebound cleared but stayed in the zone. Westling hustling over and got it to the neutral zone. Couldn't find Grant Young there, however. Randall back to line for Zielinski. Touched it behind him to Seelinger. Wedged off the puck by Mentz. They couldn't clear those. Zielinski kept it the right half before powering his way through a couple of checks. Ruben Westerling forced the issue and got the puck down the ice. 40 seconds left on the power play for Des Moines. 10:30 left in the third. We're tied at 2. Zupfer over to Ori. Second power play unit on for the Bucks as Ori just threw it to an area. Nobody there for Des Moines, and sending it back down the ice was Huff with 20 seconds left on the power play. Howard sets it up for Ori to carry ahead. Ori thought about the drop pass. Now he will give it up to Zupfer. Now Kiss into the zone with 9 seconds left on the power play. Kiss took a high hit, but able to work it to Zupfer. Forced his way through a check down the left wall. But pried free of the scrum by Cedar Rapids and cleared just before the penalty to Ernst expired. He's out of the box, and we are back to 5 aside. Inside of 10 minutes left in the third, tied at 2. Ori carries ahead. Into the zone, over to Zupfer. Top of the left circle, fed it back through. Ori couldn't redirect it home as that one drifted through the top of the blue paint. Zupfer in the corner. Fed behind the cage to Kiss. He'll come near side. Brought it to top of the circle, cycled it back down low. Went through Rooney and to Zupfer. Had his pocket picked side of the net by Fenton, who sent it down the ice. Enough steam for icing, yes. So Cedar Rapids cannot change the lines. And the faceoff will be back in the CR zone with 9:15 left in the third period. And we're all tied up at 2. Shots on goal, 21-15 in favor of the Rough Riders. Faceoff won by Searles. Schmiel shot, hit bodies in the slot and ricocheted wide. Kept at the right point for a moment before the puck is grabbed by the Riders. And they will quickly rip it down the ice. Ricocheted off the ankles of Grant Young, couldn't take possession, and cleared back out the center by Wheelant. Grabbed by Mentz, D2D over to Carson Young, and shot from center on net that Wheelant will cover. So face-off in the Buck zone now with 8:51 left in the third. Don't know if we're going to get to our media timeout here in the third. Face-off to the left of Wheelant. Controlled by the Bucks. They'll chip it over to the left corner. Comes to Seelinger. Played up the wall. They'll battle for it. Going to be kept by Davis. To Graff. Tried to give it back, but taken away by Seelinger and forced to center. Seelinger from the red line. Chipped it past the man. Caught up to it. Tried to center and trying to knock it out of midair was Tylick. It wouldn't go. Cedar Rapids clears to center. Musa ahead. Behind him to Davis. Denied the line by Kiss. Kiss with it. Drops it back to Kroll. through the red line, was trying to get Davenport. That would not go, and icing will be called on the Rough Riders with 8:15 left in this third period. Face-off controlled by the Bucks. Davenport faked to clear up the wall, slides it up the middle to Kiss, who will carry to center. To the red line, took a little bit of a slash as play continues. Grabbed by Tylik in the right corner. Watched by Ernst. Tylik spun off that check. Walked out in front, couldn't get the shot away. It rolled on him at the last moment as it came over to Fenton. Into the zone now. Rohrer behind him to Ernst. Skate to stick. Loose puck. Bosco swept it to the wall. Near side, grabbed and sent up to the point for Huff. Faked right, went left, shot was blocked by Howard, came back to him. Pumped it wide of the cage, and the slap pass to the side of the net. Kyle Rohrer redirects it home. Kyle Rohrer, his first of the season. Beautiful hand-eye redirect. Puts the Rough Riders back in front. Time of the goal, 12:23. Beautiful marker there for Rohrer. As we are back to action. Cedar Rapids controls the draw. Miller over to Westerling. Had a step but lost the puck. Popped up in the air. Knocked over the crossbar. Heavy hit below the goal line as Keaton Ori took a man hard into the end wall right in front of referee Calvin Stace. And I think we're going to see a boarding call. Cross-checking the call and immediate timeout back in 60 seconds here on Flow Hockey for another Cedar Rapids power play. Back at the UPMC Lemieux Sports Complex. Cedar Rapids heading back to the power play. Cross-checking call on Keaton Ori. Sixth power play of the game for Cedar Rapids. They are 1 for 5 so far. As Ernst wins the draw, Graff sends it far side. Carried into the zone by Miner. Tried to leave it for Rohrer, but picked up and cleared by the Bucks. Rohrer has the go-ahead goal right now. So we're inside the final half of the third period. Graff through center. Off of Bosco, ricocheting around. Graff has it, left circle. Behind him to Rohrer and banked back to Miner at the point. Back to Rohrer and now Miner. Low shot, hit a body in front, came to Graff. His shot is blocked by a diving Buccaneer. Rebound to Rohrer. Bumps it down low to Ernst. Back up to Miner. Now right circle for Graff. Center point Miner. Rising wrister gets the end wall. Puck still in play. Kroll fighting through a check, trying to get the clear for Des Moines. Couldn't, but Rohrer will do the work for him as his pass for Miner. Escape to center. Quickly back to the line, Graff. His pass wouldn't go. Pinballing around, came to Bosco. Now back into the corner for Ernst. To Graff at the right half wall. Settling things down. To the point for Minor. Walks the blue line. Feeds over to the left side for Musa. Side of the cage for Bosco. Couldn't take it cleanly. Off the end wall, he picks it up, feeds it back to Musa, far side. But the pass for Minor is out to center with 30 seconds left in the power play, and then I believe we have an offside whistle. .550 left in the third, 27 seconds left in the cross-checking call to Keaton Ori, and a 3-2 Cedar Rapids lead. Cedar Rapids controls the draw. Carson Young carries it into the zone, fires around the kick plate over to Musa. Taken away by Schmiel, fired back around the wall, kept by Westerling at the right side. Had it poked away from behind by Seelinger as he carried down low. Picked up by Mikkel, sent around the wall, taken right back by the Rough Riders. Now here's a steal by Tylik, but he gets bodied up immediately, and the Riders take it back. But out of the box comes Keaton Ori, and the Bucks are back to full strength. Cleared the line, kept by Young. Off the right corner boards, it bounces over to Romeo. Fought through a check, brought it to the far side. Fenton kept it to the line, but then Seelinger knocked it ahead into the zone 3-on-2. Seelinger floated it back door for a kiss. What a sprawling save by Ryan Cameron to keep it out. Seelinger got it back to Kiss. In the slot, turned, fired, blocked by Young. Came back to Kiss. Pass was blocked. Seelinger came over to help him out. Up to the point for Randall. Eyed the cage, didn't take the shot. Fed behind the net. Kiss knocked down from behind. From his wallet, sticked it up to the line, kept by Randall. Penalty upcoming. Long distance shot, hit bodies in the slot. Fenton couldn't find it, and the whistle blows. I think a tripping call upcoming on the Rough Riders. As we look at referee Luke Stork. Tripping is the call, and heading to the box. Number 3, Carson Young. Time of the penalty, 15:25. And Des Moines 0 for 3 on the power play. Timeout Des Moines, we will take it with them back in 60 seconds here on Flow Hockey. All right, back to action after the Des Moines timeout. Whelan still in the cage. And Des Moines to their 4th power play, but does not start off well as the puck is cleared out to center. Hit referee Calvin Stace as he was backpedaling, so Des Moines at least doesn't have to go the full length of the sheet here to wind it back ahead. Tylik, red line and blue into the zone for Seelinger down the left side. Pulls up at the half wall. Feeds it back to Zielinski at the point. Zielinski. Toe drag made, one-man miss, got the shot away. Cameron made the save, unable to shovel the rebound home. Zidlicki. Puck loose in the corner, grabbed by Seelinger. Passed it through the box and over to Zielinski near side. Zielinski, left circle, toe drag shot. Got it through the legs of his defender, but Cameron kicked it out. Around to the weak side, Seelinger kept it to Zidlicki. The puck rolled on him, and it's going to be cleared out to center by Corneli. Randall back into his own end for it. 1:05 left on the power play. Randall to the red line in the blue, into the zone, 1-on-4 as his team's changing behind him. Randall left in the corner, but nobody there for Des Moines. Cleared to the line. Zielinski couldn't keep that rising wrister, and all the way down the ice it went. Whelan out to play it. Fends it away from Grant Young and gives it to Randall. Out to center for Rooney. Drop back for Howard. Chipped into the zone, rolled to the right corner. Howard after it, trying to fend it away from Miner. Getting there first was Mentz. Clearing attempt, hit bodies. Came into the slot for Kiss. His shot missed the cage. Over to Howard, behind the cage for Zielinski. 20 seconds left on the power play. Kiss. Up to the left point for Ori. Watched by Young. Cycled it around to the far side. Howard got there first. Trying to fend off a couple of Rough Riders. Romeo over there at least for Cedar Rapids. Puck cleared the line, kept by Ori. Across Zielinski. Toe drag shot was blocked. Got his own rebound. Follow-up shot was also blocked. Zielinski. Toe drag shot. Cameron safe. Rebound. Kiss fed it to the weak side. Unable to put it home was Rooney as we are back to full strength for Cedar Rapids. 2:20 left in the third. Ori off of Zielinski, who's been out here for the last 2.5. Scuderi into the zone, but lost the puck to Ori. Carried to the side of his cage. And then dropped it behind him, was looking for Kroll. Pass went through his skates, came to the weak side where it's picked up by Kiss and fed back below the goal. 2 minutes left in the third. We will keep an eye on Max Whelan. Kroll snapped it ahead. Searles able to stick it down but couldn't get it deep. Rolls to the Riders. Young to Scuderi at the red line. He'll play it into the Des Moines zone. Kroll. Up the far wall, found Searles. Whelan checking with the bench. Into the zone. Come the Bucks, they still can't get it deep. Played back out to center, skating ahead. Westerling down the left side, bumped off the puck by Randall. Rolled to Wallen, who had the second goal for the Buccaneers. Gained the red line, still can't get it deep. 1:15 left for the third. Ahead comes Scuderi. Scuderi, toe drag shot. Whelan saved and poked the rebound over to Randall as a little 2-on-1 developed. Whelan at the hash marks as Randall chips it deep, but the only one there is Fenton. Sends it up the near side. Rohrer couldn't get it down the ice. Came to Seelinger. Puck loose to the left dot. Whelan went to the dot, but still has not gone to the bench with 50 seconds remaining. Now Whelan to the bench. Extra attacker on the ice is Zupfer, who hustles, trying to keep it in the zone. He does, at least for a moment. Puck came to the Riders, and they will clear it out to center. Skating back for it is Zielinski. He's watched by Bosco. Zielinski took a trip. Des Moines bench looking for a penalty, nothing forthcoming. As Zielinski is down on all fours after taking, thought might have been a trip or a knee. And Ryan Seelinger jumping on Kyle Rohrer, rips him down to the ice. And Zielinski skating to the bench under his own power, but doesn't seem to be able to put a lot of weight on that left leg. So I think that was Kyle Rohrer that delivered the hit. Rohrer also has the go-ahead goal for Cedar Rapids right now. But we'll see if any changes in manpower on the ice come from that little post-whistle scrum. Referee Luke Stork talking to head coach Derek Damon. .6 left in the third. You know, a background to all of this game, Mark Carlson sitting at 776 career wins, 2 behind PKO Hanley for the all-time USHL record. Looking to get 777 if his team can hang on for 27.6 seconds. Now our officials huddling in the crease there to the far side of the ice. Referees Calvin Stace and Luke Stork. Lions people Harrison Heyer and Gerard Lamoureux. To me, at the very least, Kyle Rohr guilty of a 2-minute trip on Blake Zielinski. Could it be 5 minutes for kneeing? I don't know. Are they going to go to video review? They are. So we will step aside. Or at least I'm going to turn the mic off while Calvin Stace and Luke Stork go to the iPad and make a deliberation here. Again, 27.6 seconds left in the third. Cedar Rapids up 3-2 as they're going to review for a potential major penalty. Back at the UPMC Lemieux Sports Complex, 27.6 left in the third period. Referees Luke Stork and Calvin Stace checking out things on the iPad. We're reviewing for a potential major penalty against the Cedar Rapids Rough Riders. CR leads 3-2. Net was already empty for Des Moines. They're looking to get a man advantage here for the final 27.6. Welcome back into the broadcast booth. My name is Matt Lipsack, the voice of the Youngstown Phantoms. Bring you the action here today on Flow Hockey. We'd like to thank President of Business Operations of the Des Moines Buccaneers, Eric Grunfast, for giving me the opportunity to call today's game. So it looks like Stace and Stork have put down the iPad. All right, they're all done. And we're going to find out what's going on here. So it can be a major penalty or it can be no penalty. There cannot be a minor assessed here. So they have informed the linesman. They are now informing the public address announcer. And I think I saw Luke Stork pointing that the faceoff's going to be down in the CR zone, which would indicate that they are going to call the penalty. Now Calvin Stace back into the box. Look at the iPad. I just wonder if he needs a jersey number. And I do believe the penalty should be on Kyle Rohrer. And 27.6 left in the third. Des Moines looking for the tying goal. They send out 6 skaters. So they're going to leave the net empty. Ryan Cameron heading back to the crease. So they are calling a penalty. There are only 4 Cedar Rapids skaters on the ice. I just would kind of wish they would inform us what's going on. Now we've got both referees and a linesman huddled around the iPad far side. And I really just think they're trying to figure out a jersey number. Players are ready. One of the linesmen's ready. Mark Carlson says, "Hey, what's the delay?" Crowd getting a little restless here in the Cavestro rink as well. Kneeing is the call, but only a 2-minute penalty, which I didn't think you could do. Carter Ernst to the penalty box. All right, 6-on-4 for the final 27.6. Puck is down. Getting control, Zielinski whips it far side. Hustling over to keep it in the zone was Randall, couldn't do it. Romeo to the red line, couldn't get it to the empty net. Randall quickly back ahead, 15 seconds left. Seelinger to the red line in blue, into the zone. Stripped to the puck from behind by Romeo. He'll backhand it to the red line. Randall stopped it with 8 seconds left. Seelinger trying to chip it to Tylik. Cut off by Huff. Cleared to the corner. Huff pins it to the boards, and that'll do it. Mark Carlson wins 777. Brings him one closer to PKO Hanley as the Rough Riders down the Des Moines Buccaneers by the final score of 3-2. Final shots on goal for the game, 22-17 in favor of Cedar Rapids. Get your scoring recap from tonight's game. .818 of the first period, David Bosco with a power play goal assisted by Justin Graff. Rough Riders led 1-0 at the end of the first. 6:27 of the second period, Noah Ogren, his first of the year. Grant Young with the helper, 2-0 Rough Riders. Nate Deladonna put home a rebound at 10:06. Henry Schmiel and Harper Searles